Right, boys and girls, it's the eve of Christmas Eve. It's bloody freezing. The fire's going, as you can see. We're going in the shed to break some life into an old girl. Come with me. Okay, this is the old girl in question. She's a Villiers model WX11 or 2, depending on how you read it. Engine number WAH991, which makes it 1935. So for 85 years old, she's looking good. But over the past couple of years, she's languished in the shed, unloved, not touched. And before we try and get any noise out of it, we're going to have to clean the fuel system out, because the colour of the fuel that I've drained out of it, as you can see, not very pretty. And that in the bottom, that's water and gunge. So the tank's going to have to come off, clean the tank out, clean the carburettor, find a spark, because the magneto's duff on this and it's obviously running on a battery and a coil. I don't know nothing about that, I don't know when it was done. I don't even know if it works, but we'll have to investigate that before we get any noise. So I'm going to get the tank off, clean it out with what I can find to clean it out with, because it's the week before, day before Christmas, and I've got no supplies. So right, that's the tank off. Let's take the measure out. The measure for the old 2-stroke oil. Now I don't know if you can see in there, because it's not very good, this camera, but there you go. It's quite clean, but there's bits of rust and there's quite a bit of water in there, so we're going to have to get all that out. Well, the best way to get that out is fill it with petrol, but it's bloody expensive at the moment, £1.50 a litre. So what I'm going to do is going to put some diesel in it, because diesel won't do it any harm. Swish it around with a few stones in the bottom, get all the crap out of it, and then swirl it with a little bit of petrol just to get rid of the diesel. And then hopefully that will clean all the water out. Right, there's the tank, sat with a bit of diesel in. I'm going to drop some stones in out of the garden, give it a good shake. I don't want loads of stones because we've got to get them all back out again. Oh dear, I can hear you all screaming, you'll never get them out. Oh well. Not going to need a major clean out of this tank today, because I'm going to repaint this engine and the tank can come off, be properly cleaned and properly sealed with a chemical. But just to get some of the crap out and give us a fighting chance of having it run for an hour or so before we strip it, repaint it and place all the rubbish, we'll do, put some of this in, shake it all about. That should take all the flaky loose rust off and give us a fighting chance. So I'll do this for half an hour and I'll bring you back. Right then, considering how bad it looked inside the tank, the diesel that came out is quite clear. Well, clean, diesel's slightly yellow, so that's what you can see. So I'm going to stick a little bit of petrol in it, swill all the diesel out of it, and diesel's not going to make much difference to the running of the engine, it's a 2-stroke mix anyway. Got the mess in here. I've got so many projects to do, I really should get on with it, but never mind, I'll clean up in a bit. So we'll put some petrol in, swill it round again, drain it out, screw it back on, and then we'll see if we can find any spark. Right, I've put the tank back on, not put a nut and bolt in it because it's got to come off again, and to be honest the bolt's a bit short, so I've used the old trick of a tie wrap. Don't judge me. Now it's time to rip into this electrical system. We've already got lots of compression, as you can hear, so that should be fine. But as you can see, what's there is a battery box. Now Villiers, especially the older ones, it's very, very common for the coils and the magnetos to break down. So what enthusiasts like me do to keep them going is convert them to a coil ignition, which means you need to use a battery to power the coil. You take the coil from an old 70s car, Lucas coil, which is not always reliable, and you just wire it in. Instead of the magneto, you wire the coil in with the points. And those who are watching this, you'll know how it's done. So I'm going to whiz a battery out of the old electric scooter, connect it up, see if we've got any spark. Hopefully we have, because I don't want to be getting into the old electro-digicals today. Right, battery on. Confusingly, all the wires are black, so I've just guessing that the red connector is for the positive side and the blue connector is negative. I don't know. I'd use the red and white wire, red and black wire, but not everyone's the same as me. We've got a little switch on the front there, so we'll turn it on. I've got a spark plug on the wire, and you're looking right there, and we'll give it a turn, see if we get spark. Oh yes, lovely big spark. Ignore the motorbike in the background, impulse buy. Right then, what I'm thinking now, I'm going to solve some petrol down its throat and see if it'll fire off. Shouldn't do that, but you know I'm going to. Right then, let's try this naughty trick. I'm not supposed to do this, but here we go. Take a syringe full of petrol, which is what I said, 5mm. Yeah, 5mm syringe full of petrol. Got it down the throat. Put the spark plug back in. Now this is stone cold, this engine, as you can see, because it's not moved for 2 years. Plug in, hot wire back on. Now I've already tried the starting handle and it tried to take my eye out. So I'm going to turn this by hand and see what happens. It's not guaranteed to work, but let's have a go. Here we go. Wow! Wow! There's life in the old girl yet! Right then, let's talk about petrol and oil mixtures. This can is approximately 3 litres of fuel. That's about a tenner's worth at today's rate, because it's ridiculous. Now, according to the Villiers manual, this engine, which is sat there, uses a 64:1 mix of oil to petrol. So, in my rough calculations, 3 litres of fuel is roughly 50 millilitres of oil, or thereabouts. I might be wrong, but I've got no measure for 50mm, because this is a shed, it's not a chef. So I've been in the kitchen and stole a measuring cup. Don't tell her. So we're going to measure just under 50mm, mix it in, put it in the tank. There we go. Just a little bit short of 50mm. It doesn't seem to be a lot. I might actually have to go and ask the interweb. Now we'll stick that in, see what happens.
The golden hour.
Right, we'll get both video cameras running. shut Sweeney up. YouTube don't like that. Cleaned out the carb. Put some fuel in. Coolant. It should be ready to go. I'm going to try turning it by hand again. I don't think it'll start by hand, so I may have to find a rope to start it. Well, there we go. It's going to be a bit smoky if it does fire. Ignition on. Oh, splash water everywhere. Nope. Flood it a bit. No, I didn't think it would. Let's sort of a bit of a rope out to start it up. Give it more of a pull over. Right, found a piece of rope. Wrap it around the flywheel. See what happens. Set my glasses off for a minute. I didn't want to use the starting handle. As you can see, it's just a hook which hooks into a hole on the flywheel on the starter cog, and it's worn so much that when you spin it, it just flies off, and I don't want to take my eye out. So we'll leave that and fix that another day. We just got a piece of rope. Well, not in the end. Right, let's have a look. That's on. That's down. Flood it a little bit. It's not designed this for doing this, so it might not work. Totally might not work. There we go. Swift pull. There you go. Wow, I think we better stick it outside before we get carbon monoxide poisoning. Happy with that, can't even see it no more, but I'm happy with it. Right, we go again. She's away. Very smoky. I don't think that diesel in the tank has done it much good. But she's away. Happy days. Let's see how long she stays away. Right, been going for an hour. Very pleased with that. 85 years old. Still sing a great tune. Neighbours have already complained. Who cares? I'll let it run out of fuel and then we'll put it away. Merry Christmas, guys.